Mount Carmel stands tall on the hills near Chimborazo, and how we got here and why we remain is a testament of this church's incredible history and legacy. In the early 1880s, our mother church, Ebenezer Baptist Church, had grown exponentially from the flux of free blacks in the post-Civil War Richmond. Among the baptized was Mr. William Henry White. Mr. White felt the urge of greater service to God and man. On Burying Ground Hill, in the home of Mr. and Mrs. Peter Shackelford, Mr. White started an afternoon mission Sunday school. That Sunday school grew fast, and eventually it was recognized that a new church was needed to support the community. The Baptist Churches of Richmond Council met in October 1887, and the Mount Carmel Baptist Church was established. On the first Sunday in October 1888, the Mount Carmel Baptist Church's first baptisms were held, and reported to be the most picturesque religious ceremonies ever to be held in Richmond. And since that time in 1888, the Mount Carmel Baptist Church has been a key part in Richmond's history. From its first location in the historic Jackson Ward home of the Shacklefords, to St. James and Fritz Streets, to 1303 North First Street, and now to 3200 East Broad Street. In Richmond's historic Churchill, Mount Carmel stands true to its mission. The Mount Carmel Baptist Church has been the seat of many great events. It has served as a center of social advocacy and community. Mount Carmel has supported the NAACP, the SCLC, and other advocacy organizations. Through the ages and years, Mount Carmel has baptized, been the epicenter of social and civic events, and uplifted our community. Mount Carmel Baptist Church has dedicated itself to inspire and protect Christian ideals. Education and inspiration has always been key with our Black History Month events in February. Mount Carmel has produced dramatic performances and concerts. Missions work at Mount Carmel has never been lacking, as seen with our soup kitchen, food pantry, missions work, and now our new Mount Carmel Community Garden. After a pastorate of 26 years, the founder and first pastor died on his 60th birthday on August 19, 1913. Since Reverend White's passing in 1913, many men of God have shepherded this branch of Zion, and they include Reverend Edward D. Caffey Sr., 1914 to 1923, Reverend Berryman H. Johnson, 1924 to 1927, Reverend Frederick W. Black Sr., 1928 to 1937, Reverend John L. Wood, 1938 to 1943, Reverend Dr. Thomas F. Freeman, 1944 to 1951, Reverend Rosamond C. K. Jr., 1952 to 1954, Reverend Edward D. McCrary, 1954 to 1988, Reverend Dr. John S. Fontaine, 1990 to 1995, Reverend Dr. William E. Jackson, 1997 to 2001, Reverend Dr. Stephen Green Howard, 2003 to 2016, and the Reverend Marvin L. Gilliam Jr., 2019 to present day. To God be the glory for all of the marvelous things He has done for the Mount Carmel Baptist Church of Richmond, Virginia.
Mount Carmel Church family, I don't know about you, but when I think about 132 years of ministry that God has allowed to happen through this church, I get excited. I get excited thinking about all of the lives that have been changed and all of the impact and influence that this church has been able to have down through the years. From starting and coming out of Ebenezer Baptist Church in 1887 to serving the Jackson Ward community, to moving here to Church Hill in the mid 20th century and serving here and beyond, God has done some great things through the disciples of the Mount Carmel Baptist Church. There have been many people, pastors, lay leaders, and disciples alike, who have served to help build the kingdom of God through Mount Carmel. And I'm so excited to celebrate and commemorate that history today. But even more exciting for me is the fact that our story is not complete, that we're only celebrating the 132nd chapter today, and that God is still writing our story, that God still has more great things for us to do, more great influence and impact for us to have, more lives to be transformed, more disciples to be made, and more caring for our community to be done. And so I'm encouraged today that we are empowered by our history, not just the history of what we've done, but the history of what God has done through us, to move forward and to have a bright and glorious future. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, nor has it entered into the hearts of men and women what God has in store for the Mount Carmel Baptist Church in the years to come. And so we celebrate 132 years of Mount Carmel Baptist Church. Happy birthday. God bless. We're looking forward to what God will continue to do.